Tonight at 5, hear from a woman who gets her health insurance through the Affordable Care Act about the pain she's preparing for when the enhanced premium subsidies expire. Plus, the update we received from Madison Police on their investigation into Monday's homicide on the city's north side. And later, the Senate overwhelmingly votes in favor of releasing the Jeffrey Epstein case files. What has to happen next for the documents to finally come out? You're watching News 3 now at 5. And good evening. Thanks for staying with us. Susan is off this week, and we are beginning with weather on this dreary Tuesday across the Madison area. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us now with a look at our first warn forecast. Alex?
Yes, dreary is a good way of describing today. When we look at radar 3000, you're probably thinking, well, that doesn't look too dreary out there. There's nothing out there anymore. Well, the precipitation is really ending across all of southern Wisconsin. Some leftover drizzle, but overall rainfall amounts here, and I had a couple more that I added on here, range from anywhere from 0.2 of an inch to maybe, again, this is an estimate just east of Janesville, some places closing in on maybe nearly 0.7 of an inch of water. And it wasn't water for everybody up towards Princeton. Thanks for this photo here. We did have that slushy snow accumulation. If you scan that QR code in the upper left-hand part of your screen, you can send us your photos. Maybe you got some snow to send, and we can show those weather photos on air. So we did get that mix out there. And once again, radar 3000, high and dry right now across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures, though, on the cool side, 35 in Madison, 34 in the Dells, 37 in Lone Rock, and near 40 towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border. So with the dreary, cloudy, showery drizzle, we had drizzle today, we had snow today, it is on the cool side out there. Coming up when I return in just a little bit, I'm going to track when can we expect the sun to come back out and how warm those temperatures will get by the time we get to an important weekend of football. That's coming up in a little while.
Alex, thank you. A retired Beloit Memorial High School teacher is facing charges for the sexual assault of a student. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says officers arrested 61-year-old Andre Raymond DeCoke. The office says in late 2024, its staff learned about an allegation of sexual contact between DeCoke and a former student. The office says there may be more victims and witnesses. Anyone with information should call the tip line at the number there on your screen. DeCoke set to appear in court tomorrow afternoon. And if you have experienced sexual violence and want help, there are local resources available. The Dane County Sexual Assault Resource Center's number on your screen there, 608-251-7273. Continuing coverage now, the deadly shooting that happened on Madison's north side Monday afternoon. Madison police say they arrested a person of interest last night during a high-risk traffic stop near the Dane County Regional Airport. They are now in the Dane County Jail being held on a Department of Corrections warrant. That shooting left one man dead. Police arrived on the scene on Brentwood Parkway about 2:45 yesterday afternoon, found a man lying in the road. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police are asking anyone with information about this shooting to contact Crime Stoppers by phone or online at p3tips.com. At the state capitol today, a 6-hour Senate floor session pushed through a number of measures, from child care tax credits to defining abortion in state law. But as our Ellie LaLiberte shows us, Democrats say it's not what Wisconsinites need. Ellie?
Eric, there were more than 60 bills heard on the Senate floor today, but Democrats say none of them get to the key issue of affordability. Meanwhile, Senate Republicans say that several of the bills introduced address other key concerns. Today, the Republican-controlled state Senate passed a bill to repeal Governor Evers' expansive 2023 veto, which locked in school funding increases for 400 years. However, that legislation still needs to pass the Assembly before it could head to the governor's desk. But Democrats say Republicans' priorities are in the wrong place.
The bills on today's calendar show us and the people of Wisconsin that Republicans do not care about affordability, and they have no plan about affordability either.
We're doing everything we can to try to keep things affordable, ending the 400-year veto so taxes don't go up in the next budget process. So we are very concerned.
Now, tomorrow, the state assembly will vote on a bipartisan bill on whether or not to allow Wisconsin's tribal casinos to own and operate online sports betting services. When asked if it will pass his chamber, Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu says he'll need to see if it has the support it needs in the caucus. And today, the Senate passed a bill to define abortion in state law. Republicans say it clears up fears that restrictions will impact health care. Democrats say the legislation belittles women.
All right, Ellie, thank you. Happening tonight, representatives from QTS data centers will present an overview of a proposal to build a data center in the town of Vienna to the DeForest Village Board. Now, the presentation starts at 6 at DeForest High School. The board will not be voting on anything related to this proposal tonight, but village officials say they expect an official annexation petition on that land sometime yet this month. Our Maddie Heimsch will attend the meeting and bring us the latest on what happens tonight on News 3 Now. As a parent, you always want to have a plan, but one mother isn't sure how she'll pay for health insurance next year, telling our Armand Rahman it is frustrating lawmakers aren't taking what she sees as a clear path to relief for millions of Americans by extending the enhanced tax credits for the Affordable Care Act.
This is going to hurt our family.
Like log rolling, raising a family requires a lot of risk.
We have 2 young boys and don't feel good about not having health insurance with the 2 boys.
But log roller, fitness trainer, and mother Shauna Verstegen and her husband are now planning to have to pay a lot more for peace of mind next year.
It's really adding up.
If enhanced tax credits for Affordable Care Act customers are allowed to run out, they'll have to pay an extra $2,500 a year.
And with the prices of groceries and childcare and electricity and everything going up, it's a really big impact for our family.
According to Governor Tony Evers and Wisconsin's Office of the Commissioner of Insurance, a family of 4 on Obamacare making $130,000 a year could see their premiums double if they're in Dane County or triple if they live in Barron County.
It's important to point out that our increase is small change compared to what a lot of people are going to have to go through.
Shauna took her fast feet to Capitol Hill to speak to lawmakers on both sides of the aisle about the impact this will have on her and other families. This was before the government shutdown ended, with talks about extending the tax credit tabled for a later date.
They gave up on us. You know, we feel like the Democrats caved.
Now they have 1 month to make some tough decisions.
We're going to cut some of our kids' activities, other places to work at. We don't want to do that. We have been at our jobs for almost 30 years. And the fact that we're being punished for this hard work by the loss of these premium tax credits really strikes a nerve.
Being the middle of open enrollment, many insurance agents were too busy to speak to me on camera, but they did tell me that there are concerns that more healthy people could go without health insurance because it's not affordable to them. And this could cause companies to raise rates for people who depend on insurance coverage because the risk pool will be higher.
Armand, thank you. And we now know the name of the man killed in a crash last week in Fitchburg. Dane County Medical Examiner's Office identifying him as 40-year-old Travis Shippey of Oregon. Thursday morning, crews arrived at the area of Highway 14 just north of Lacey Road, and they found 2 cars in the eastbound lanes with significant damage. Shippey died at the scene. The other driver taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation is conducting a survey on potential solutions along the Beltline. Our Jalen Banks caught up with residents on the changes they'd like to see. Jalen?
Eric, this study by DOT looks to address safety, accessibility, and infrastructure concerns long-term on the Beltline. It looks at the approximate 20-mile stretch the Beltline covers. 3 areas the study hopes to address are Whitney Way and further west, the Verona Road area, and east of Verona Road, where the flex lane has been implemented. And speaking with residents earlier today, there is one change several people hope to see, and that's an increase of the speed limit on the Beltline. However, there were other suggestions to improve the Beltline as well.
Genuinely think we need to get rid of the flex line. I've never seen a flex line anywhere before, and I feel like people just dart through that, and that's what makes it even worse for trying to get around.
You need to keep the flow going on Verona Road. No stoplights. Loop it and keep that flow moving. No stoplights, and you'll thin out the congestion on the Beltline.
DOT says part of the reason why the Beltline speed limit does not resemble that of the interstate is because the distance between on and off ramps on the Beltline are much closer than the ones that you'll see on the interstate. Tonight at 6, we'll hear directly from DOT on how they hope to address the Beltline concerns.
Everybody with an opinion on the Beltline. Jalen, thank you. And still ahead at 5, Alex tells us whether we can expect today's gloomy weather to continue through the end of the week. Plus, why medical experts believe this winter's flu season could be even worse than last year. And what's next after Congress voted for the DOJ to release the Epstein files? We'll tell you. And more red numbers on Wall Street today. The Dow dropping nearly 500 points. NASDAQ loses another 275. S&P falls 55. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Breaking news nationally, the House and Senate have both moved forward with a bill requiring the Attorney General to make public all unclassified investigative materials related to the Jeffrey Epstein case. Erica Brown with more now from Capitol Hill.
The House passed a bill Tuesday to force the Justice Department to release all of its files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
On this vote, the yeas are 427,
The nays are 1.
Survivors of Epstein's crimes spoke out ahead of the vote from Capitol Hill.
By passing this act, Congress has the chance to prove that truth matters more than privilege. Yes. That justice matters more than influence.
Still, it took months of political pressure from a bipartisan group of lawmakers to bring the effort to a vote.
They did it by banding together and never giving up. And that's what we did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today.
Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson voted for the bill, saying he hopes the Senate makes changes to the legislation to protect the identity of survivors who wish to remain anonymous.
Congress should give the Attorney General broader authority to redact all the victim information. The discharge doesn't do that.
But the bill's sponsors say they're concerned about possible changes in the other chamber.
If you want to add some additional protections for these survivors, go for it. But if you do anything that prevents any disclosure, you are not for the people and you are not part of this effort. Do not muck it up in the Senate.
After making a reversal over the weekend, President Trump says he will sign the bill if it reaches his desk.
I'd like to be there that day that he signs. I'm sure all of us would like to be there.
Late today, the Senate agreed by unanimous consent to consider the bill passed as soon as the House sends it over. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Bit of a gloomy day out there across the News 3 Now viewing area. Alex is back now with a complete story.
And nothing out there on Radar 3000 now, but the gloominess that is with the clouds that are going to stick around for southern Wisconsin. We had rain across much of the area. We had some snow up to the north, up towards Princeton. Scan the QR code right now if you want to send us your weather photo. I'd like to see some more of those snow photos if you got any snow today. No snow in the forecast, but we do have cloudy skies sticking around in the forecast. Let's track it here with Future Track. Anywhere where you see white, that's clouds. So tonight, tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the morning, staying cloudy. As we go into the daytime on Wednesday, up through 6 o'clock at night, staying cloudy. And as we continue to go in from Wednesday night going on into Thursday, just a slight chance that we could have a shower as a cold front comes through the area. And with that cold front coming through, maybe a couple of breaks in the sky where we might start to see a little bit of that sunshine return on Thursday. But we got a good 2 days of cloudy, gloomy conditions across southern Wisconsin. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that is the job here, I guess, is to give the forecast. Temperatures tonight, 32 in Madison, 27 in Baraboo, 24 up towards Camp Douglas, 21 to the north of Marquette and Green Lake counties where they did again get some of that snow. Whenever you have a little bit of snow on the ground, you can expect those nighttime temperatures to be a little bit on the chillier side. Highs tomorrow, mid 40s, a kind of gloomy fall-like day, but typical for November, I would say. And the high temperatures are right up at normal at 44 degrees. And then we'll start to see some changes in the forecast. First, that tiny chance of a shower on Thursday. As we go further out into the future, a weather system later in the 10-day period out towards Monday and Tuesday of next week may bring us our next chance of precipitation, but not big rain chances, and we really could use that water. As we head out here into the weekend, 49 on Saturday, 53 on Sunday. The game in Madison, we're going to break those down here in just a moment here, looking good temperature-wise, and also on Sunday for that Packers game. And we will cool down as we head out further out towards Thanksgiving. Good indications are the weather pattern is going to turn colder than normal. We were talking a little bit earlier on WCLO about hunting season. And well, if you have any plans to the north up towards northern Wisconsin, where they did get a little bit of light snow over the course of last night. As we head into the weekend on Saturday, conditions looking partly sunny, maybe a little rain shower activity in Green Bay on Saturday, but most areas are going to stay dry. It's a quick little weather system, and then partly to mostly sunny skies as we head into Sunday if you have any travel plans north up towards the North Woods or across the upper Midwest. That Badger football forecast will be in the 40s, so dress warm, but typical for this time of year, I think, temperature-wise, and typical at Lambeau Field for the game with the Vikings at noon on Sunday. So again, get ready for a fall-like weekend, and the sun will eventually make a return by the time we get to Friday going on into the weekend. But the next 2 days will keep the gloomy weather around. But that's par for course, I think, for November as well.
I don't like that. That's the worst part of it. Is that you don't see the sun for a long time.
You don't see the sun.
So you got your fancy shovel.
We got that fancy shovel that we've been showing folks. This is that First Warn weather shovel, and the First Warn weather team literally is going to help dig out a couple of viewers this week.
This is a nice one. It's got that little foam thing on the handle there.
It does.
Makes it easier.
And it has that good
metal for scraping.
Yes, for the scraping as well.
And speaking of that, for Wisconsin Winter Weather Awareness Week, our weather team announcing the daily winners of the First Warn weather team snow shovel. And the second winner, Scott Maurer from Madison. And congrats. Go out to Scott. And once again, join us tonight at 10, and you'll hear the very latest on snow squalls as part of our winter weather awareness coverage. What's he got there in the photo? There's the ice on the branches. What do they call that?
There's a little bit of that frost, that
hoard frost or whatever they call it.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
See, I pay attention every once in a while.
You are
Not very
all
often,
up on your weather terms.
Every once in a while, but I like that shovel, I'll tell you. I just hope I never have to use it. Alex, thank you. Sure. The Consumer Product Safety Commission recalling some certain Trek and Electra branded bicycles with coaster brakes. The brakes on those bikes and the replacement rear wheels also could fail to engage. Now, that could result in the cyclist losing some control and crashing. So far, though, no one has gotten hurt. In health news, doctors are warning we could be in for another bad flu season. A new mutated strain of the flu called Subclade K is fueling surges in the United Kingdom, Canada, also in Japan. That, combined with lagging vaccinations, could lead to a worse season than we had last year when the U.S. saw its highest rates of flu hospitalizations in almost 15 years. In fact, at least 280 children died nationwide of the flu last year. That's the highest number on record, going all the way back to 2004. And as of November 13th, less than a quarter of the people here in Wisconsin have received at least one dose of the flu vaccine for the season. Some 34% of Dane County is vaccinated against the disease. Rock County, even lower, nearly 21% vaccinated. Now, if you need to find a place offering the vaccine near you, head to vaccines.gov. We're 4 days into the donation period for our Thanksgiving Basket Drive. News 3 Now, once again, a proud sponsor with the Goodman Community Center in Madison. Off to a great start in getting enough food and money to feed 4,000 families this holiday. But there is still a long way to go ahead of distribution. Now, the good news so far, all of the volunteer slots have been filled.
We have over 500 volunteers signed up for this event, and it fills up so fast. I had someone joke that it's like trying to get a Taylor Swift ticket.
Well, the best way to give back by donating those food items or money online. You have until Sunday to make it happen. We have everything you need to know at channel3000.com. Next at 5, what's going on with the Packers kicking game? The bad habit they can't seem to kick. How the coach will handle it moving forward after the break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. The Packers got out of MetLife Stadium Sunday with that win over the Giants. But once again, we saw some wild adventures in the kicking game with 2 missed extra points. Our News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has more details about how Coach Matt LaFleur will handle place-kicking duties.
For a while there, Lucas Havrisik was the most popular guy in Green Bay. He had made all 10 of his kicks in the 2 games he was the kicker, and Brandon McManus, the veteran, missed a bunch of kicks upon his return from a quadriceps injury. Well, when McManus's quadriceps issue flared up before the Packers departed for New York over the weekend, it was Lucas Havrisik's turn again, and he wound up missing 2 of his 3 extra points in the win over the Giants. Packers still trying to figure out exactly what they're doing at kicker, but it was clear after the game that Matt LaFleur plans on Brandon McManus being the guy once he's healthy.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter whether you got to find a way to get it through the uprights. And it was a challenge. There's no question about it. I think the second one was the whole operation wasn't great in terms of the snap. He kicked the laces, which I don't know if anybody's seen Ace Ventura, but as far as I know, it's not a good thing. But yeah, we got to be better all around him as well.
The Packers do have some decisions to make in terms of making space on their roster in the coming weeks, so we'll see how that affects the kicking situation. We'll have full coverage of everything Packers on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for the Packers newsletter, which delivers our coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Jason, thank you. And Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo will miss 1 to 2 weeks due to a left groin strain. Giannis left the Bucks 118-106 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers early in the game last night. He scored 14 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in just 13 minutes. Well, this weekend, the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra kicks off the holiday season early with a traditional performance. The orchestra will perform Handel's Messiah with the Festival Choir of Madison at Bethel Lutheran Church downtown. Though it's considered one of the most performed classical pieces of music in the world, returning alto soloist Sadie Cheslock says there's something special about the Chamber Orchestra's performance.
It's a really unique audience experience. It's a very intimate church setting, and the orchestra and soloists are right there, right up in front of you. And so it really feels like you're sitting in the middle of the music in this historic piece.
WCO putting on the performance twice this weekend, Friday night at 7, Saturday afternoon at 2, and there's still time to get tickets. You can buy them online through the Overture Center. Just go to overture.org. More local news. We now know how much money this year's American Family Golf Championship brought in. The event raised more than $2 million for organizations all around Wisconsin that support healthy families. This year's recipients include the American Red Cross of Southwest Wisconsin, the Badger Childhood Cancer Network, Boys and Girls Clubs of Rock and Dane counties, and Domestic Abuse Intervention Services, just to name a few. We'll be right back. Final check of your forecast after a short break.
Tonight, 6-7. Do you know what that means? Does anyone? Our Eye on America explores the Generation Alpha creating their own language.
That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up at the top of the hour, we'll take a look at the new rules the popular gaming platform Roblox says it is rolling out to protect kids. That story and more next hour. Join us for News 3 Now at 6. The trees that'll be displayed at the state capitol and the governor's residence this holiday season are now on their way to Madison. Harvested in Oconto County this week, the 30-foot tall balsam fir will end up at the Capitol Rotunda. And this year's Capitol holiday tree theme will be the Learning Tree. And as is tradition, Wisconsin students are invited to contribute handmade ornaments to adorn the tree. Always a great tradition.
Right around the corner. Here comes Christmas.
It's just about here. We're starting to see some of those Christmas lights up. Some of them look pretty good against that little, the backdrop of the little bit of snow we got in the northern part of the viewing area.
Yeah, just tiny bit of snow areas north of the Dells. No snow really in the forecast. Maybe the early to mid part of next week with a weather system that's finally going to cool those temperatures down into the lower 30s. Look at next Thursday and Friday there, Eric. Highs barely just below freezing. And coming up tonight at 10, as we continue Winter Weather Awareness Week, I'm going to talk, and Tim will talk a little bit about snow squalls.
All right, learn more about that Winter Weather Awareness Week. Alex, thank you. CBS Evening News is next. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Down 6. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.